In the past 6 years, I've traveled more than 1.1 million miles visiting sailors where they're deployed around the world, around the clock. And today I'm in Yokosuka, Japan, on the deck of the USS Ronald Reagan. 240 years ago, October 13th, the Continental Congress founded the U.S. Navy, and it began the spirit of service. In 2011, that spirit was exemplified when Reagan answered the call when the devastating tsunami hit Japan. And that's just one example of our ships being ready around the globe and around the clock. America's Navy is where it needs to be when it needs to be there. And so on this 240th birthday, I want to thank all of those who serve, all your families. Thank the reserves who are celebrating their 100th anniversary. America's Navy, Semper Fortis, forever courageous.
Team, happy birthday. As I mentioned in my very first message, the ships, submarines, and aircraft of our Navy are our muscle and bones. But the heart and soul of the Navy is you, our people. And today, we honor and celebrate the legacy of that heart and soul. We honor 240 years of proud, committed Americans raising their right hand to become sailors, serving and defending our country as part of our high-performing Navy team.
Shipmates, your hard work and dedication to excellence is evident throughout the fleet. It is because of you that we have been and will continue to be the greatest Navy in the world.
So to all our folks serving at sea, supporting ashore, and to the countless Navy veterans living across the country, happy birthday and thank you for your service. We look forward to seeing you in our travels around the fleet.
NCWDG. Attention to the Sailor's Creed.
I am a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all. Hoo-yah! Hoo-yah!
USS Constitution, nicknamed Old Ironsides, is the only surviving vessel of the original 6 frigates authorized by Congress in the Naval Act of 1794, which established the United States Navy. It served with distinction in the War of 1812, single-handedly defeating a number of powerful enemy warships, and is currently docked in Charlestown, Massachusetts, as the oldest commissioned warship afloat.
USS Langley, CV-1 AV-3, was the United States Navy's first aircraft carrier, converted in 1920 from the collier USS Jupiter AC-3, and also the U.S. Navy's first electrically propelled ship. USS Arizona, BB-39. During the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on 7 December 1941, Arizona was bombed. She exploded and sank, killing 1,177 officers and crewmen. Unlike many of the other ships sunk or damaged that day, Arizona could not be fully salvaged, though the Navy removed parts of the ship for reuse. The wreck still lies at the bottom of Pearl Harbor, and the USS Arizona Memorial, dedicated on 30 May 1962, to all those who died during the attack.
USS Archerfish, SS AGSS 311, was a Balao-class submarine, the first of the United States Navy to be named for the Archerfish. She is best known for sinking the Japanese aircraft carrier Shinano in November 1944, the largest warship ever sunk by a submarine. For this achievement, the Archerfish received a Presidential Unit Citation after World War II.
USS Missouri BB-63, an Iowa-class battleship, was the site of the surrender of the Empire of Japan, which ended World War II. She was also the last battleship built by the United States. In 1955, she was decommissioned and assigned to the inactive reserve fleet, also known as the Mothball Fleet, but reactivated and modernized in 1984 as part of the 600-ship Navy plan and fought in the 1991 Gulf War. Decommissioned in 1995, the USS Missouri was the last actively serving battleship in the world. She was donated to the USS Missouri Memorial Association in 1998 and became a museum ship at Pearl Harbor, moored facing the USS Arizona.
USS Pueblo, AGER-2, was an intelligence-gathering vessel boarded and seized by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea on 23 January 1968 and is still under Korean control. The ship remains in commission to this day. The seizure of the U.S. Navy ship and its 83 crew members, one of whom was killed in the attack, and the abuse and torture of its remaining crew during the subsequent 11-month prisoner drama became a major Cold War incident which raised tensions between the Western democracies and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics and People's Republic of China.
USS Nautilus, SSN 571, a submarine commissioned in 1954, was the world's first nuclear-powered ship. It demonstrated its capabilities by traveling 62,562 miles, more than half of which was submerged, in 2 years before having to refuel, while breaking the record for the longest submerged voyage, as well as being the first submarine to transit submerged under the North Pole in 1958.
USS Triton, SSRN 586, commissioned in 1959 and was the only non-Soviet submarine to be powered by 2 nuclear reactors. Triton made the first submerged circumnavigation of the world during its shakedown cruise in 1960.
USS Long Beach, CGN-9, was the first nuclear-powered surface warship in the world when she was commissioned in 1961 and signaled a new era of United States naval weaponry by being the first large ship in the Navy to have guided missiles as its main battery.
USS George Washington, SSBN 598, commissioned in 1959, was the first ever ballistic missile submarine and the lead ship of her class of nuclear ballistic missile submarines.
USS Enterprise, CVN-65, was the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier when she was commissioned in 1961. She is the longest naval vessel in the world, a record which still stands. Her 93,284 long ton displacement ranked her as the 12th heaviest supercarrier.
USS Nimitz, CVN-68, is the lead ship of her class of 10 nuclear-powered supercarriers. Since the Nimitz was commissioned on 3 May 1975, these ships have been the centerpiece of American naval power. They are also the largest warships ever built, although they are being eclipsed by the upcoming Gerald R. Ford class aircraft carriers.
USS Theodore Roosevelt, CVN-71, also known by crew members as the Big Stick, or within the Navy simply as TR, is the 4th Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. Her radio call sign is Rough Rider, the name of President Theodore Roosevelt's volunteer cavalry unit during the Spanish-American War. She was launched in 1984 and saw her first action during Operation Desert Storm in 1991. She is currently engaged in around-the-world deployment.
USS Samuel B. Roberts, FFG-58, is an Oliver Hazard Perry-class frigate which struck an Iranian mine on 14 April 1988, severely damaging and nearly sinking her, resulting in 10 injured sailors but no fatalities. The ship suffered flooding, fires, and a broken keel, which normally is fatal to the ship, but damage control efforts saved the ship. The attack resulted in the launching of Operation Praying Mantis.
USS Arleigh Burke, DDG-51, named for Admiral Arleigh A. Burke, United States Navy, 1901 to 1996, is the lead ship of the Arleigh Burke class guided missile destroyers. The Arleigh Burke class has gone on to become the longest production run for any post-World War II U.S. Navy surface combatant and the most numerous class, with 62 vessels already made and up to another 42 planned.
USS Stout, DDG-55, is the 5th Arleigh Burke class guided missile destroyer. On 19 March 2011, in conjunction with other U.S. Navy ships, the destroyer launched Tomahawk cruise missiles at Libyan air defenses as part of Operation Odyssey Dawn.
USS Cole, DDG 67, is named in honor of Marine Sergeant Darrell S. Cole, a machine gunner killed in action on the island of Iwo Jima on 19 February 1945 during World War II. On 12 October 2000, the Cole was the target of a terrorist attack carried out by Al-Qaeda in the Yemeni port of Aden. 17 sailors were killed, 39 were injured, and the ship was heavily damaged in the attack.
USS Seawolf, SSN 21. The lead ship of her class is a product of the Cold War. The Seawolf was designed as a replacement for the Los Angeles-class submarines and as a response to the Soviet Akula class.
USS Michael Murphy, DDG 112, is the 62nd ship of the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. She is named for Medal of Honor recipient Michael P. Murphy, 1976 to 2005. Murphy was killed June 28, 2005, after being exposed to enemy fire, knowingly leaving his position of cover to get a clear signal in order to communicate with headquarters. He provided his unit's location and requested immediate support for his element, and then returned to his position to continue fighting until he died from his wounds.
USS Zumwalt, DDG 1000, is a guided missile destroyer of the United States Navy. She is the lead ship of the Zumwalt class and the first ship to be named for Admiral Elmo Zumwalt. Zumwalt's commanding officer is Captain James Kirk. Captain Kirk attracted some media attention when he was the first named captain due to the similarity of his name to that of the Star Trek character played by William Shatner. Shatner wrote a letter of support to Zumwalt's crew in January 2014.
USS Gerald R. Ford, CVN 78, is to be the lead ship of her class of the United States Navy supercarriers. The schedule calls for the ship to join the U.S. Navy's fleet in March 2016, with the first deployment in 2019.
Get ready.